Hey there everyone, I'm Lady J with your Intuitive Tarot Therapy session. A quick message for who needs it. Hope everybody had a nice holiday weekend, a little extended weekend. Hope everyone's celebrations were safe and fabulous. All right, thank you, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, loved ones on the other side. Let's see what messages we have for you today. All right. Okay. We have the Ten of Cups, the Six of Cups in reverse, the Four of Wands, and the Devil. Well, this is talking about your happiness, your joy. And then we have the Six of Cups that came out on the bottom and the Nine of Wands. Now that Six of Cups was on the upright, and we have the Death card there in your underlying messages. Major transformation happening for you. The Four of Wands, celebration. A little bit of wonkiness, which is to be expected. We have a lot of planetary movement really setting us up for alignment. We have the Ace of Swords and the Chariot on the bottom here. The Chariot, Cancerian energy. So we have a little stop and start, little stop and start, little stop and start, little dance there. So the Ten of Cups is telling us all about your happiness and your joy and your, loving yourself, your inner child, everything really coming together, and your family just being, very harmonious right now, at least your chosen family. The Six of Cups is saying that someone's just not giving as much as the other. There's not a good reciprocation. Someone of your past, could be a family member, an old friend. Now the Four of Wands, this is all about, celebrating. There's a celebration, and it is about your family. So I feel that you might be celebrating with some and not celebrating with others, or someone in your group of people that you celebrate with just really isn't giving, it's not being reciprocal with their energy. And the Devil, it's really talking about this person being a toxic energy, and perhaps there's a codependency here, a toxic connection. Let's find out a little bit more of what's going on. The Four of Cups. Contemplating on whether if you really want to stay in this relationship. Ooh. Yeah. It's a... Oh, okay. That's a lot of cards. So we have the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom. And this really wanted to pop out. It's really interesting because all these cards came out in reverse. Now when I saw them in the pack, they were right side up. So we have the Three of Cups. And this is clarifying that Four of Wands. So where there's celebration, a group of you. I think you're really contemplating on whether you want to be a part of this group. There's definitely healing that is needed here. I don't know if you're giving it that much thought. I mean, if we look at these cards in reverse, it looks like there's a lot of toxicity here. Now you have this beautiful Ten of Cups at the beginning, and it goes through these emotions with the Six of Cups and a relationship that's just not reciprocal. And then we have the Four of Wands. This is celebration again. And then you have this toxicity. So within this grouping of people, could be chosen family. It is some people that or a person that you have known for a very long time, and you're really contemplating on whether this serves you. I mean, it looks like they're kind of going off without you. They're not really including you. You don't feel included, or you've removed yourself from the group. And healing has not taken place. Maybe healing that has been needed has not taken place. And the thoughtfulness, I don't know if you're really wanting to give it that much thought. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, there's not much coming out of it. There's a little jealousy. There's a little bit of, selfishness and just thinking about me, 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 me. And there's an impasse with this Ten of Wands in reverse. You have the Prince of Wands, meaning it's not going anywhere. It's in reverse. We're again, all of these cards came out in reverse. When I saw them in the pack, they were indeed in the upright position. It seems like whatever this is, it is toxic for you. This friend group, this connection, it's a toxic connection, okay? One thing is that people aren't being, or the person is not being reflective. They're not looking at how their behavior is affecting you. And here's the Six of Wands. It's incomplete. It's like just for show. It's not, the grouping and the outward look of the situation. It's really not being, it's all for show. It's smoke and mirrors. It is for show. Now these cards came off of the top. I'm going to take these and see what they have to say. Yeah, I'm not surprised by this. Okay, we do have, and we saw the Chariot in the upright position earlier in the underlying messages, and here it is in reverse. So it's really telling me that no one's really working their muscles here. No one's really using their discipline, and they're just going. I feel like this group that's toxic, I think it's toxic for you because you are thoughtful and you are intuitive and you walk your talking and you say what you mean and mean what you do. And you find that this group is just kind of doing things just so they can look good, like on social media, look like they're doing something. It's a stalemate. It's really, there's not much love loss as there is. It's just not real. It's not authentic, and you know it. And there's not a lot of thoughtfulness going in to this, and the momentum has slowed to a not even a creeping slow. It just came to a stop, okay? Especially with that Ten of Wands in reverse. You do have the Two of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. This connection is actually keeping you bound to an outcome that is make-believe. I don't know if it's something that you have been trying to hold on for quite some time, but something that you really want to get into. I don't think it's something that it could just be a partnership between two people, or you know how like in groups, how there's one person that you're closer with than the other group. I think that is what you're holding on to, and it's keeping you bound. You're just staying together for the sake of staying together. Again, I feel a toxic codependency here. With that Seven of Swords, there's some trickery and there's some backhandedness. I hear whispers, I hear gossip, and just inauthenticity, and people moving strategically, and it's all for show. It's not authentic. It doesn't seem like it really is something you want to be involved in. It's like the grass is greener. It looks like the grass is greener, but really you're so full of joy you in your solitude or with your, if you have other friends and family, but whatever this friend group is, this like chosen, I keep hearing chosen family, you've been looking at this for quite some time, and you've been working to navigate it, and you've been reviewing it and just kind of watching how people move, and I think you've discovered that people are, yeah, it's the same thing with those cards. It's just, there's no real authentic foundation. There's no authentic basis for this connection. I think it was kind of like, just, if it were going to work, it were going to work, but it's like, don't fit. If it don't fit, don't force it sort of energy. I can't believe all those cards came out in reverse. But it is really, it's telltale of what that devil is. That's Capricorn energy. Root girl, the disowned self on the bottom. That's very telltale. Okay, we have wailing tree. Reconciliations. Yeah, I think you found yourself. I think you've been doing a lot of work on finding out who you are and what you're about. And how apropos for the moment now, when we're heading into this full moon. It's a full buck moon, and it's all about personal growth, finding out your identity, who you are, what your purpose is, a time for reflection, and surrender, and your passions and the intensity about those passions, and putting that intensity rather than what you don't have, but into what you really want to be doing with your time, and being steadfast in that. Now this is number 59, that's 14, which is 5. It's all about change. And so it talks about grief and mourning, a time of necessary losses, reconciliations, the wailing tree, okay? When you encounter the wailing tree on your path, it's an invitation to stay a while and regroup, a place for you to rest and allow yourself to say goodbye to what no longer serves. You may have been overdoing things, working too hard, or putting too much effort into life with little reward, and your relationships. And if you've been considering making a change, now is the time to do so. This time we are in the energy of Pluto's return. Pluto's return. It's really about big changes. Now this hasn't been, Pluto hasn't had its return since the insurrection of our country here in America. So this is the time where big changes are among us, and we are being invited to embrace that, and that's that surrender energy. Now the full moon will be on the 12th and 13th of July. It's in Capricorn, and then we're going to be coming into that new moon in Cancer energy on the 27th and 28th. This is all about embracing new beginnings, new cycles, setting your intentions, the momentum of your previous intentions and how that's going, your projects. But now is really about reflection and seeing if what you've been doing, if that really works. One important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointment, your loss, and mourn what was and what could not be. This is a way to honor your experience, to give yourself time to consider all the gifts in it, to put proper disclosure on it, to really know what you've learned as you've walked away from it into something new. Even the perception of failure, or even in the perception of failure, there's much good to be discovered. But skipping the stages of loss doesn't get you to reconciliation any faster. You got to trust the process. So you'll discover that you'll have to come back at some point, you know, to kind of sift through that pain and loss, the feeling of loss. So this card urges you to do it now. I'll show it to you again, so you don't have to relive it, you know. It's a very dynamic card. So look at it, you know, directly and honestly, and stay with your feelings for a moment. It's okay, because it's going to allow you to understand what you truly want and what you haven't been given in these relationships. Life's not either or, it's both, and this and that. So as you dive in and process this, allow it to become a temporary travel companion on your journey. The feelings that this will bring to the surface will be challenging, for sure, that's for sure. But like all things, they will pass soon enough, and you'll be more enriched by the experience. You know, Buddha says the root to all suffering is attachment. So that's a great exercise to look into now, to see what you're attached to. I'm going to take this bottom card here, just because I'm curious. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. That's beautiful. I don't want to keep you too long. This is a quick reading, but it does say root girl, the disowned self. It's number 46. It's number 10. Listen, that's the beginning and the end. Nothingness and creation. So that's what stage you're in now. I'm surprised we didn't get the death card, because this is really about, you know, a rebirthing process. It's about a need for acceptance. Root girl sits shivering, unclean, naked, at the base of the tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. That's I don't know why it came out that way. For her deformities, she has no home, but is safe, burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this be urchin? What? Could this urchin be the one part of you that reintegrated? Can it lead you to the wholeness and true purpose? This is a part of you, the embodiment of the deeply flawed perception of your failures manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others for any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child, self-crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks you for your compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and were conditioned to believe you're not whole, and that your expression of self is somewhat too much or too little. And you may have even inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child's self time to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree itself. It's time to be, welcoming her or him back into your heart. And when you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated. Your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. And I think that when you feel not part of, shunned, not included, not in some way, like, you could be invited, but you just don't feel included. Does that make sense? And so I think you've been watching this trend, almost like you are a friend by default, and it's keeping you in this cycle of toxicity. You're belonging to just belong, and that really isn't belonging, especially when there's, you've been trying to work a strategy to try and fit in and within the confines of something that really doesn't serve you and doesn't reflect who you really are or what your tribe really looks like. Well, because then we have to do that work of defeat and go through like feeling, becoming unattached to something that we've been attached to for quite some time, and that can just be so painful. So I do see the energies of Cancer, Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sag, so maybe that means something to you. Maybe that's significant in your chart or around you. But these are also energies of the people around you. Okay? So let's get you a crystal and see what crystal can best serve you now. Pyrite. All right? Pyrite is all about money and motivation, creativity. This is going to help you maintain an organized approach to life and help you be grounded and focused, experience a solid foundation, manifest your goals with ease. Because I see you, again, refocusing on you. This has all just been a bunch of energy. I see, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I see Virgo, Taurus, Sag, like I said earlier. And that's the thing, when we when we have relationships with others, we don't heal things right away. They tend to fester, and it just doesn't really go well. It never really heals, and those energies beget, more discomfort. And I really feel like somebody in this group is just strategically trying to leave you feeling uncomfortable, like intentionally leaving you feeling like, no thanks. And kind of just being gossipy and whispery and just moving behind the scenes, not really having your back the way that, they come off that they're supposed to be. So, and it's keeping you, look at her. It's keeping you in a position of just being bound. But you can loosen those ties anytime. Listen, if something's not serving you, and it doesn't interest you, why stay with it? These people are not reflective. They're just having groundhog days every day, and they're doing what they think they're supposed to be doing in life. They're not very conscious people. So if I were you, I would gladly just separate myself and just, yeah, thank you, no thank you, and just kind of bow out gracefully. So the affirmation for pyrite is, my confidence is rock solid. I take positive action to manifest my goals. Yeah, keep your eye on the prize. Remember your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because if your absence insults people, they don't really want the best for you to begin with. Because it's all about them, right? So when is it going to be about you? Well, it's going to be about you when you make it about you. I don't know if you can see that clearly. This is beautiful rose quartz, and this is about friendships, love, and romance. Okay? So this can help you have, amplify unconditional love for yourself and for others. Attract your soulmate. Increase feelings of comfort and acceptance. Cultivate good friends, family, and work relationships. The affirmation is, I allow love and open my heart to attention, affection, and my romantic partner. And from the right people. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, I hope something in this message has been helpful for you. Thank you for joining me here and for your views, your likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed yet, get subscribed. I love connecting with you. So for further connection, follow on Instagram at intuitivetarottherapy and on TikTok at Mystic Funny Girl. I'm always sending you blessings of optimal health, of love, harmony, unlimited wealth, and high vibes, of course. Remember, you are limitless. So dream your biggest dream, team up with Source Energy, and make it happen. Until next time, be well, be happy, be grateful. We'll see you then. Peace and love.